In this calm, step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to walk you through all the Semrush SEO tools available to us in the 14-day free trial. I'm going to explain them to you, how you can benefit from it, and how to actually use them, so you can decide if you want to use Semrush for your online projects. If you want to support me to help me create these free awesome videos, and if you want to have a 14 days trial instead of 7 days, sponsored by Semrush itself, then you can go to trysemrush.com/wpressdoctor. This link is also in the description of this video and of course in the comments. And we are here, the 14-day pro trial. You are very welcome. Then press over here, try it free. Then we're going to sign up, create a really strong password, and if you want to receive news and SEO tips, check that box and press create account. Then go to your email and copy the verification code. This email looks something like this. Here we go. Paste it in over here and press confirm email. Then we need to fill in our billing information over here and our billing address. If you don't want to make use of Semrush after the 14 days, make sure to cancel it and all is good. And then we press on this green button, place the order. Here we go, start using Semrush. The first thing we're going to do is enter in one of our websites, because we have different kind of projects. The first website I'm going to add in is a client of mine. We'll be building SEO in multiple languages within Europe for this client, so this is a good case. Paste it in over there and press start now. Then we can see in the top we have the Copilot AI. These are your personal recommendations for your website. It's very useful if you check in regularly what's going on with your rankings. If we press on this one, show more recommendations, then we can see that we have lost a couple of backlinks. There are some new keywords which are very low-hanging fruits, interesting for us, and we have a few broken pages, technical audits, keyword found. We can close all these recommendations by going through here. You can also add in more projects if you want to follow more websites. For example, just press on create project, just enter in another domain name and press create project. Now we can see we have the WPress Doctor and we have zepcam.com, which is my client. If you want to delete a product, just select it over there and then we go over here to delete. Type this one and press on delete. Now then we also have domains for monitoring. Now, this is the place where you add in your competitors. For example, for zepcam.com we have a Dutch one. We go with the Netherlands and we're going to press on add domain. But because they are doing business in all the countries of Europe, we're also going to add in a United Kingdom version. There we go. Add in their domain. Just make sure to add in a few of those competitors. I'm going to walk you through all these modules and features of Semrush. So we're going to start on the left side with the SEO dashboard. The first thing you need to do is change the country over there to the country you are in. In our case, let's use the Netherlands. The first thing we see in here is the domain analytics. Let's start with the authority score. It's a ranking created by Semrush itself based on a couple of things like position of keywords, your backlink profile, all these kind of things. This doesn't say very much until you are comparing it with your competitors. Then it'll make sense. Then we have the organic traffic, which is an expectation of the coming months. Then we can see the organic keywords. This is the number of how many keywords are actually bringing in people to your website. Then we can see over here paid keywords. You can see how many visitors, this number, are being brought in by paid advertising in Google. And then finally, we can see the referring domains to your website in this box. And you can also, if you hover over it, you can see the current and previous of last month, and you can see a difference. And now you know if you're losing backlinks, gaining backlinks. As my client is producing a lot of news on their blogs, a lot of backlinks come and go from other news websites. Very important. Then we can see all these modules over there, but we have to set them up. So let's start by setting up the position tracking. Semrush works with campaigns, so you can track a lot of keywords and divide them in different kind of campaigns. That's really useful, especially when you have different kind of languages on your website. If you don't have different kind of languages on your website, go with the root domain, pick your search engine you want to use, probably Google or Bing. Then we're going to add in your location. This is because of the local search volume. Very important to be as precise as possible, because if you have a business in the United States, Well, you know, the United States is very big. Are you going to service all the people of the United States, or just a state, or just even a city? Make sure to put this location in over there. And over here we add in our business name within Google Maps. Now it has to be exactly the same like this. In my case, this is the exact name. So I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to paste it in over there. Then if this is all correct, you press continue to keywords, then fill in all the keywords you want to be tracking your own website and the website of your competitors. Don't worry if you miss one, Semrush will provide a lot of extra keywords talking about the keyword gap later on in this tutorial. After that, press add keywords to campaign. Then over here we can send a weekly ranking updates via email if you want that, very nice. And press on start tracking. Immediately we are being redirected to the position tracking over there. We come to this in just a bit. Just let Semrush gather all your keywords data. Let's go back to the SEO dashboard. Scroll down because we have a lot more things to do. We're going to set up our site audit. Press setup. Here we can change the site audit settings. The limit of checked pages, 100 is default because you might have shared hosting or you just don't want to let it overload by Semrush. In our case, we are using a very powerful server and they're using a CDN, so 500 should be good. Crawl source should be your website, but you can also just use your sitemaps or a URL or even a URL from a different kind of file. Well, I'm just going with the website. Do you want to receive an email every time an audit is complete? You can enable it over there. Then we go to the crawler settings. Here we can configure the crawling settings, and you might want to change the site audit bot to desktop mode. Now this is very important. If the majority of your visitors come via their desktop device, you should check over here the site audit bot desktop. If the majority of your visitors is just consumers coming via their mobile phone, just keep it on mobile. Why is it important? Semrush will also look at the speed of Lighthouse and all these different kind of variables from Google Site Speed. So make sure to check out mobile or desktop depending on the majority of your visitors. I go with this website to desktop. The crawl delay, just keep it on this one. Then we have JavaScript rendering. If this one is disabled, the bot will only use the HTML version of your website. If you really want the bot to see exactly what your visitors see, then you have to enable this one, but we have to upgrade our plan. So we're just going with disabled. Then we go to allow, disallow URLs. If you want them, you can just disallow some URLs. Let's go with the next one, remove URL parameters. Here we can list a URL parameters to ignore during the crawl. Now this is very important if you have a web shop and you can filter your pages with different kind of parameters like colors, sizes, all these things. If you have these things on your web shop, make sure to put in after the question mark and before the is sign, just copy this one and put it in over there. You can find these things within your website. On this website we don't have it, so I'm just gonna press on bypass website restrictions. For example, if you have pages that are not crawlable for Google and you don't want to pollute the search engine, you might have blocked access to it. If you don't have one, just ignore the first one. Then you can also crawl with your credentials. This is useful if your website is not yet live, protected by password, and you do want to do a site audit. We don't have that, so I'm just going to keep this off and press on schedule. Here we can choose how often we should audit our website. Normally we do this weekly and we choose a day which is the slowest for our business, so we won't bother any real visitors with our audit. In our case, Sunday is the slowest day because business to business. After this we press on start site audit. Here we go. Then we are being redirected to the left side site audit. We'll be talking about that one in just a minute. Let's go back to our SEO dashboard. Our dashboard is starting to feel like an SEO dashboard. I'm really happy with this one. Then over here we're going to set up the On Page SEO Checker. The first thing, of course, is your location, which is very important. I want to go for this one also the United Kingdom. And I want the entire England. And I don't want to have a city, I just want them all. And press continue. Here we can choose the pages to optimize. If you use auto import and you don't have a very big website, like Zepcam actually is, then you should be good, just press collect ideas. But if you're having a very big website, you could also choose to do it manually, add in your URLs, or go with organic research and then it's been selected on volume. Now the On-Page SEO Checker actually costs units. You can find them over here. It's basically the same as credits that AI systems uses, but in this case, every keyword attached to every page is 1 credit. So 1 keyword added to 1 landing page is 1 unit. If you crawl this 3 times a month, that's 3 units. So make sure to only use the units that you want to use within your plan. Now be very careful with this because there are some limits for each account level. If you are on a free plan, you only have 10 units. Yes, there is an entirely free plan. If you have a pro plan that we are right now for 14 days, you have 500, etc, etc. Every month these units will be regenerated for your account. As we have 500 credits right now on the free plan, we should be good with all these ideas. Let's go to the crawler user agent. If you want to change this, you can change it, but I think the Semrush bot is perfectly fine. Let's go over here to schedule. How often should Semrush recollect ideas for you? Every week? Or maybe never, and you want email updates every Monday? Why not? Press collect ideas. Here we go. And then we are redirected to the On Page SEO Checker. Really great. Let's get back to our dashboard. Semrush is gathering all kinds of tracking, site audits, on-page SEO checker. This is really great. Let's go to the Backlink Audit. Set it up. Usually you always go with your root domain because most backlinks are sent to your root domain. Press Brand Settings. If you're using a different brand name and different kind of languages, this is the place to add them in there. Or maybe you just added a different kind of brand names. For example, press on Domain Categories. Here we need to select our domain categories. This is very important as Semrush will determine if you have toxic backlinks. But they only know what shady is if they know what's not shady. So this is the way you have to select them. Well, we're also in the news and we're also in science. And sometimes we also pop up in people and society. Let's press on target countries. Now Semrush already selected some countries. Well, we don't do business in Mexico. We don't do business in the United States, but we are in Germany, not in the Philippines, not in Argentina, Poland, yes, Turkey, no. I'm not gonna add in all my countries one by one. I just go with the European Union over there. Just to be sure, I'm going to add in the United Kingdom because they don't feel like Europe anymore. And then we press on Start Backlink Audit. Then the Backlink Audit is also in here on the topic of link building. Very important. We're going to talk to you about that in just a minute. Let's get back to our SEO dashboard. Set up everything before we can actually start. Yes, setting up Semrush takes a lot of time, but it's a very extensive marketing tool. Then the next step in here is to connect Google Search Console and Google Analytics to our Semrush data. So we're going to press on Setup. Then we can connect our Google account. Then make sure to choose the account that Google Search Console and Google Analytics data is being connected to. So in my case, wpress-doctor, press continue. I'm going to allow Semrush to do all these things. And here we go. Make sure to select the right account, the right property, and the right data stream. Also with Google Search Console. Then we press location and device over there. Well, let's use the United Kingdom as our target audience. We use all and press go to organic traffic insights. Really great. Let's get back to our SEO dashboard. I'm going to talk to you about this one later on. If we then scroll down, we go to the link building tool, setup. Make sure again to select the right keywords. So for our tutorial, we're going to use the United Kingdom. Then we can track the keywords which they are using to use link building. Of course, you also have to put in your domain name itself. So let's go with this one, add them in, both of them, and then add in some more keywords that you want to track. I don't know exactly what ODCAN is, so I'm just going to remove it. BDCAN, also don't know what that is, so just remove it. I'm going to keep this one, but feel free to add in all the keywords that you want to track for your link building. Then we click over here on keywords, but they're supposed to stand there competitors. Well, whatever. Then we're going to add in one competitor per line. I'm just going to add them in again. And then I'm going to press Start Link Building. There we go. Great. Again, awesome tool. It's just collecting, analyzing data. So in the meanwhile, go back to your SEO dashboard. And then we scroll down. Then we only have 2 more things to set up. Because if you're not using ad campaigns, we can skip this entire step. Your dashboard is customizable. So we're just going to hide this widget. There we go. Now the social tracker and the social poster are really powerful tools, but they are not included in this pro plan. It's $30 extra per month which is not that much compared to their competitors like Hootsuite and all these things. It's an amazing tool. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. For now, we're just going to close this one. And then we scroll down because the last step we need to take, if you also want on your dashboard Google Analytics data, we have to connect to our Google services. So press on connect, choose the right account, press on continue. We're going to press allow, make sure all these things are filled out the right way and press save. Well done, we have set everything up. Now on your dashboard, you can see a lot of things, an overview, all the things we're going to talk about on the left side. However, this is a really great place to quickly see how you are doing for different kind of websites or for different kind of clients. This dashboard is really comprehensive and really nice, and you can also customize it entirely the way you want it. All these things on the dashboard are just overviews from these modules or tools on the left side. For example, your position tracking is just in here. Also, the site audit is just in here. So we're going to talk about all this information, but I'm going to do this one by one on the left side. We're going to start with the competitive research go-to domain overview. Now, this is a great tool to be used on your competitors, but also on your prospective clients. Let's say you're in the online marketing and you are selling SEO plans. This is the tool to use to talk to the customer with some really great advice. We're going to stay with my client, so I'm going to use the refillmedia.co as an example, and it is based in the United Kingdom. We press on search. Here we are at the domain overview of our competitor. In just a second, we're going to press on compare domains, and you can put your domain and your competitor's domain side to side, so no need to do that right now. Then we scroll down and we can see a lot of more interesting things. For example, 94% of the traffic share is from the United Kingdom. It also seems that our competitor tried paid advertising for a couple of months, but in the last year, they didn't do anything with paid traffic. Interesting to know. If we then scroll down, you can see a lot of more interesting things over here, these SERP features. This basically tells you how much more attention do they get within the search results because of their site links, for example, or images inside of the Google result page, or maybe they have videos, or maybe they have a frequently asked questions below it from their website. All these things can be found in here. Basically, the more SERP features you have, the better it is, because more eyeballs will be drawn to your website. Then we can see a beautiful graph about how their keywords are distributed among the positions within Google. Just remember, all these marks in here could be a Google update, because the Semrush sensor detected high activity on this day, so there was a change in rankings. For example, we have here the real updates, the core updates, they're all in there. So if you say we didn't change a thing about our website and still the rankings are up or lower, it might be because of some update Google rolled out. Then we can see the top organic keywords, the organic position distribution, where are their most keywords at. Then we have branded traffic trend. Then we can see the keywords by intent. So is it informational or more navigational or commercial? All these things are very interesting to see where they are in the market. Now, if you click anywhere on here on view full report or view details, you will go on the left side to all these research tools. So we are getting there one by one. Now let's go to compare domains, the growth report, and the compare by countries. I don't want to disappoint you, but for all these three things, we need actually to upgrade to the Guru plan. If you want to compare it manually, there's of course a way. Just open link in a new tab. Just make sure to check in the right market. And then you can just see over here, hey, how is my competitor doing compared to my own website? And then we can see, hey, the organic traffic from the last 2 years is actually pretty stable and good for our competitor. But when I go to my own domain, UK market, this is not good. So we have to improve our rankings. Let's go to the next one, the traffic analytics over here. Now, the icons on the left side are just some other tools. For example, over here we can see the Market Explorer overview. That is just over here at Trends, Market Explorer overview. So they just try to make it a little easier to navigate their extensive system. This page is basically Google Analytics and Google Search Console combined in one Dashboard. In here we can find all the visits, the unique visitors, how much the page visited, how long the duration is. Then if you scroll down, we can see, when we look at the statistics, we can see that over here more people are coming on a desktop device than a mobile. You can also change it to unique visitors, to pages per visit, average visit duration, and the bounce rate. But then we scroll down, we can also see trending pages, insight in traffic spikes, only available in Semrush Trends. Could be interesting for your company, I don't know. Then we have traffic channels by type. Let's change this one to the last 6 months. And we can see where does our traffic comes from. My client does a lot of marketing offline. You can see that by the amount of visitors coming directly, not through the search engines. So it's really important for them to keep doing their offline marketing with their decision makers. Then we have the traffic journey, very interesting. And then we have, of course, the countries, more company info, and that's basically it in here. The fun thing of the overview is that you can also add in some competitors. So put them in over there and press on compare. Which one is getting the most traffic to organic? And if we scroll down, we can also compare all these things up to 4 or 5 competitors in there. So that's very nice to see. Now for the rest, the traffic analytics is not interesting for a lot of people. That's why access to all these things can be bought within the Semrush Trends tool. It's a completely different tool. But now we're going to get to the exciting part, which is the organic research. In here we can find some hand-on tools so we can really improve our website rankings and to see where the low-hanging fruit is. So let me walk you through this. This is the overview, so when we scroll down we can see all these different kind of tabs over here. Very useful if you have different kind of projects and you just want to view quickly what's going on. For example, the top keywords is very interesting. If we press on view all keywords, you just go to over here positions. Now, this is one of the places where the real magic happens, so you could really quickly improve the SEO of your website. When you scroll down, we can see that we have now 15 organic search positions. That's not a lot, but if I switch to the USA, I have 109 organic search positions. Well, there are different kind of columns over here. First, we have the keyword. And on the second column, we can find the search intent, which is very important. Semrush really did a good job explaining this with some good examples, so pause this video if you want to read them all. On the third column, you can find your current position of this keyword for your specific website. As you scroll down, you will see numbers. Everything after 3 and 4 is not that interesting because most clicks go to number 1 and number 2. However, we can still improve these rankings, hold on, but you can also see this question mark. This one means that this keyword is integrated in Google with a feature called People Also Ask. And then you will see this keyword and this website inside of the results. So that's very interesting. In the column after that, we can see if this result has a different SERP feature, like a featured image or a video. It's all in there. And then we can see the organic traffic, which is an estimate of how much it can be. Now, after that comes a very interesting column, which talks about the traffic percentage. So that means out of all visitors to your website, from this keyword comes 41.6% of traffic. Then we can see over here the volume. This means the number, how many people search for it, average based on the last 12 months. After that is another very interesting column, which is called the keyword difficulty. In here you can see how much difficult it is to rank on a high position within Google. Now, the higher the number, the more difficult it gets. So keep that in mind. Then you have the URL of your website and then when it has last been updated. Okay, to make it very practical, if you want to score low-hanging fruits within SEO, you just go over here, you click on keyword difficulty and do it again. And now it has been sorted from really easy rankings to over here more difficult rankings. Combine the keyword difficulty with a lot of traffic and a high load of volume, something like 260, 210. This might be very interesting to optimize these pages. We're already ranking on these keywords. So now for this specific market, it should be very easy to rank on these keywords with minimum effort by just optimizing these specific pages. If you have seen some keywords you like, you just click over there, like I want this one is not in English, So let's go secure serve, top rated, and this one also. Then we're going to add these to a list. If you press over here, you need to name this list. In my case, this is low hanging fruit UK, because we have different kind of countries. I press save. There we are. Now let me show you also when I go to the US, I have 109 keywords. So that should be a lot more interesting. But there is also another way to sift through these keywords, which is really useful. You can go over here to go to positions. I only want to see where we rank number 2 to, let's say, 50. Press apply. And then I also want to make it very easy to go rank on them. Then I get a list of possible keywords that could be interesting for me, easy to rank on with an easy keyword difficulty and some volume, and I'm already ranking in this between 2 and 50. This is really great. I'm gonna sort it on volume. Then you can sift through it and see if these keywords are really interesting for you, and you can add them to the list. For my client, for example, I can see different kind of things in Spain, which is easy to rank on, and it has some volume in the United States. Don't be distracted by high loads of volume and maybe a very difficult keyword, because it totally depends on your market. If you're selling business to business like this customer, only 2-3 new customers within each month may boost up their entire sales because the product they're selling is really high end. But if you sell, for example, these mugs, then you really need high volume and a lot of conversions to make some profit. And then high volume is necessary. And then we go over here to the next step, position changes. In here we can see the position changed of our website. We have over here 10 positions that's actually been changing in the last month. Again, we can see all the different kind of columns, but this time it has been automatically sorted on the traffic difference. If you see negative numbers like a -7, that is basically not a good thing to see for your website. Again, if the keyword difficulty is low and you have lost traffic on these keywords, then you should really change something about your page, get more backlinks, optimize this page even further, create fresh content. All these things can be done on all these different URLs. Just keep in mind that all this data is only from the last 2 days. That is a little bit short to see trends and see what's going on with your positions. So it would be ideal to change this to the last 28 days or even the last 3 to 6 months. We need to upgrade to the Guru plan. But now you know how this works and how you can use it for your advantage. Let's scroll up and then we go over here to your competitors. The first thing we see over here is the competitive positioning map. In here we can see a visual representation of the amount of keywords on the horizontal axis and the organic search traffic over there. So according to this graph, this competitor is doing the best job with the amounts of keyword and the most traffic. However, if we scroll down, we can also see in here that we have more traffic from lenslike.com. So hey, it's interesting to look at all this, but how does this work? 218 organic competitors in our niche market. In the second column, we can see the competitor level. This is based on their specific keywords and their rankings and if they are competing with you. Then over here, we see the common keywords. If this number is 3, it means that 3 keywords are in the top 20 that are driving traffic to their website, which you also want to rank on. Then over here we can see the number of keywords that are driving people to the website via Google. So these guys have 908 keywords ranking in the top 20, which are driving a lot of traffic to their website. However, they are also paying for it with a couple of keywords over there. So that's the way how you can interpret all these data. And when I then look at these results, I say, hey, we have a couple of them which are very interesting. These one, before will have a lot of traffic, and then I can just open up their website and look at all their information on here, which is really optimized maybe for body cams. And then we go to solutions and then we go to body worn cameras, and I can see over here, this is the body cameras page. So I learned another thing. In the USA, they're talking about body cameras and not body cams. like we do in Europe. So again, a lesson learned only by looking at my competitors. And then I can just analyze all these pages and see how it has been optimized, what are they doing, how many text are they using. Their website truly looks really nice. So I can definitely look at this and analyze all my competitors to get some key learnings from their websites. Really great. Then we go to the next step, which is the pages. In this page, you can see your own website and the pages of your website in the specific country. Let's switch to the Netherlands over there. And we can see what pages are generating the most estimated traffic and also the differences between the last period. Here we can see the percentage of traffic, and then we can see the amount of keywords that this page will rank on within the results of Google. So 13 keywords generate this result in the top 100 of Google search. And if you hover over here, we can see all the keywords sorted by intent and the amount of estimated traffic. Then on the next column, if you're running ads, it will show over here. And then there's another very interesting column. Over here, we can see the backlinks. If I press on show, it will calculate how many backlinks we have on this specific page. If I click then on the number, and then we go over here to the Linkbuilding Backlinks Analytics, but we'll be covering that in just a few minutes. Let's close this one. And then we go over here to the subdomains. Now here we have all the subdomains that are ranked in Google in the top 100. We have 3 in the Dutch search engine. In the US, we only have 1 domain in the search engines, which is great. Let's go to the next one, a very interesting one, the keyword gap. Now, here is where we can make money. The first thing we do is we're going to add in competitors. You don't have to add them in manually. You just click over here and there they are. So let's go with this one. And then we press on compare. Now my client is not that active in the United States, so that's why you don't see any top opportunities over here. But we do have a lot of information in this place. If you scroll down, you can first see the keyword overlap. We share 8 keywords, but my biggest competitors are sharing 250 keywords in the United States. That means if my client wants to sell body cams within the USA, they really have to put in a lot of work to get way more keywords up in those United States search engines. If we then scroll down, we can see all the keyword details. They are now sorted on the volume, the amount of people putting it into Google every single month. So 27,000 people are searching for the keyword body cam in Google right now. Then we can see the intent, of course, how many pages are we ranking for? My first competitor, second competitor, and the third competitor over here. Now the thing that I'm most interested in are the keywords with low-hanging fruit. So the keyword difficulty can also be sorted again on the lowest. But then we come across the first interesting keywords: body cam clip, body cam holder, body cam mount, accessories, camera clip, holder, mount. Again, all these things are like golden opportunities because those clients already have a body cam and they might be interested in switching to our company when the contract ends. So the only thing we have to do is rank on all these things, and it's apparently pretty easy to do so because the keyword difficulty is 0. That means it's very easy to start ranking new pages on these keywords. Very interesting. And then I scroll a little bit up and I go to add to keyword list over here. Click on it, keyword gap USA, and I'm going to save it. So I'm going to save this for later and I'm going to give my client a report in, hey, we have to focus on this one, low effort, high impact in the USA market. Let's go. This is the way you can walk through all these keywords and see how difficult it is to rank on it, how much is the search volume, and is it interesting for your specific market. Also remember, you don't always have to go with the high volumes. Just go with low volumes, and if you rank up 10, 20 pages of low volume, it's the same as one high volume with high effort rankings. So keep that in mind when making your keyword gap list. Then let's go to the backlink gap over here. This is also a very practical tool and I really love it because it's going to help you create more backlinks for your website. How does this work? First, you add in your own domain. of course. And then we're going to add in our competitors. Now, these are different competitors than from the keyword gap or the organic research. Why? This is based on your current backlink profile. Interesting. So I'm just going to put up 3 competitors over there that I know of. And we're going to press on Find Prospects. I was going to look at all the referring domains and where the gap lies for us. You can also sort them on the weak domains, the strong domains, the shared domains, unique and all domains, just like that. We're going to keep it on the best domains. The first column is of course the domain and their category. And we can see in the second column the authority score. This one is created by Semrush itself, based on other backlinks, their own SEO profile, their rankings. And then we can see the estimated monthly visits and the matches of how many competitors do have links on their website. Only 2 of 5 right now. Now, to beat your competitors in these search engines, you will need more backlinks or better backlinks than your competitors. So how can you use this tool? We can select the companies, the websites we want to reach out to get a link from there. You can always try it. I'm just going to select a bunch of them and I'm going to press on Start Outreach. Then we can send our prospects to our link building tool. That one is over here. I'm going to talk to you in just a second about that one. First, select your project and then we're going to send our prospects. There we go. Great. And then we get back to here and we're going to talk about the link building tool in just a few minutes. All right, the competitive research has been completed. Excellent job. Let's go on to the keyword research, which is also really interesting. Again, we can add in our keywords separated by commas. So in this case, body cams, body cam, body camera, body cameras. There we go. Or you can enter in a domain for personalized sites with the AI-powered feature. And then we go with the right market. Let's go to United Kingdom and press search. Then we can see all our keywords and our position in the search engine result page. In this case, 56 and 50, that's not a really good place to be. No way, sir. Here we can see, of course, the search intent. And we can see over here the average search volume per month, the trend. And then this column, this personal keyword difficulty based on our website research with AI. So this means, well, it is possible, but the topical authority is pretty high. The normal keyword difficulty, however, is easy on this one and on this one possible. So that's good to keep in mind that it's possible for your website to rank somewhere on, but you have to put in the work. And here we have the cost per click if you're going with some advertising. And then we can see on the right side these SERP features. Now, all right, let's go to the next one, which is the keyword magic tool. Let's go over there. First of all, if you want to change your specific keyword that you're looking for, type it in over here and hit that search bar. If you want to compare it to your own website, put in your own website so you can get the personal keyword difficulty. Very nice to see. Then there are different kinds of things we can do over here. You can change it to questions. Then you will see all the questions that people put into Google. You can walk through this list and see if there's something interesting for your keyword list. However, in our case, there's also a game called Bodycam. But maybe how do bodycams work and can you request bodycam footage? And this one, and then we can create content around it to get maybe more people interested in our brand. Could be. Okay, then we go back to all. Now, if you want to see on which keywords you can rank easily, you can of course sort it by the personal keyword difficulty over there. And then we can see which keywords we can, well, possible rank on while we put in the work on our website. We can see the intent, we can see the volume. It's pretty nice. Just select the ones you want to make content for, add them to your keyword list, and then later on, get this list and create some content. All right, this is the way you can use it. Of course, you can do more. You can sort it by volume, the custom range, or by your keyword difficulty, and then the intent, change the cost per click if you want to advertise on them, include a different kind of keywords. In my list, I have all these bodycam game things, cheap Steam keys, CD keys, correct. I don't want that in my list when I'm doing research for my company. Over here, we can also exclude them. So I'm just gonna type in game, Steam, for example, crack, cheats. Just put in all these things that you know of that doesn't belong in your market. press apply, and then we can exclude those keywords from this list and we can do a better job at researching our keywords. Now you know how the keyword magic tool works, and again, it is really good. Now always make sure to look at the volume. For example, if we're looking for 1080p body cam for police, the volume is very low. But it might surprise you that if you rank on this keyword, someone from the IT department in the police can actually search for this, and they're looking for a solid partner. So in our case, my client really needs to be found on all these specific keywords. For example, the 1080 body cam for police, the 4G body cam UK, the smallest one. All these things can be interesting. The volume is so low that Semrush can't even predict our keyword difficulty based on no volume. We have nothing on it. But as you know your market, it might be interesting to just create a little blog post around these terms to get you up in those search rankings. Alright, let's go to the next one, the Keywords Strategy Builder. What you want over here is start by entering our seed keyword, body cams for surveillance. And then we press create list. This is truly AI powered to harness your keywords strategy. Normally we created these strategies ourselves as SEO consultants. In this case, Semrush AI is really doing a really great job. You can compare this strategy with a book. The book is the center one, the topic pillar. So the book is about personal body cameras. To describe all the information in this book, we're going to need 7 keywords. Over there, we're going to create information about that one. So we're going to fill in the main chapters. But we also have different kind of chapters around the same topic, all included in this book. For example, cameras for police. And in this topic pillar, we have different kind of subs in there. Body worn hidden cameras, secret camera spy, arm harness, and camera chest mount. All these things, we can create different kind of pages about them, just like in a book, and they can all refer back to the main topic. Also with this one, police body worn camera legislation in the UK. Every country has these things. Where does the camera images are being stored? Outside of Europe or maybe in the USA? Is that even allowed? All these things are very interesting, so we're going to create more pages around that one. If we then scroll down, there is way more to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics. Inside of that are a different kind of pillar pages. There's a pillar page with 4 subpage. There's a pillar page. And there's a pillar page with 1 subpage, and again a pillar page. And they all are being created around this one, Personal Body Camera UK. When you click on a pillar page over here, you can see all the keywords that you can use to create this content. Make sure to use all these keywords, or one of them, or maybe 2 or 5, or all of them, whatever you want, to create this page called Personal Body Camera UK. Then we have over here the topic, product-specific keywords. Cameras for police is the pillar page. The sub-pages are the secret camera spy, all the things we've just seen. And if you open it, we can see all the keywords that are being used to come to this specific sub-page. Now, if you think, hey, this is a pretty good strategy for new content, I'm going to write information about all of this. Just press on Send Keywords, all pages and all keywords, and send them to another keyword list or your SEO writing assistant. You can also send it to your position tracking and your PPC keyword tool if you want to pay per click. But let's send them to the writing assistant. Only one page with 30 keywords max can be sent at a time, of course. I'm going to press on apply. We're going to make it right for desktop because, again, business to business, way more desktop users than phone users. And I press send keywords. Not only that, of course, you can just also export it to an Excel sheet or a CSV, and you can do whatever you want with it. Really amazing. All right, we scroll back and we go over here to position tracking. The first thing we do is we click on our project. Here we can see the landscape of all our keywords and also a summary, which is pretty nice. It's in beta. The visibility has changed for the keywords, body cam fire brigades. We went on a higher visibility, and the logistics for body cam dropped in visibility. This is really great to see. The first one is here the visibility index. Per day, how the index changes. If you have 100%, a lot of people click through your result and come to your website. If you have 0%, you're not ranking in the top 100 on the Google search result page. 40%, is not that good. Then we have the estimated traffic and the change of that one, and the average position and also the change in that one. This is a very nice overview to quickly see how you are doing. Then we see the ranking distribution. How many keywords are ranking in the top 100 for a specific day. So for the 1st of October, we have 12 keywords in the number 1 to 3, and well, this is the way it goes, and you can see changing of these positions. On the right side, we can see the keywords top 3, top 10, top 20, top 100, improved versus declined. Very nice dashboard this is. Then we can see interesting things over here, your top keywords. All these things are number 1. We have a visibility gain of 15%, which is pretty nice. If you're working on this and you can put over here 200%, that would be even better. And then we can see a negative impact, so some visibility has been lost in logistics, healthcare, law enforcement. So we need to create more content for these specific keywords. We can also add in tags in here. So for example, we can use this tool to put different kind of keywords in different kind of topics or buckets as you want. For example, for the police, I'm gonna use this one, and the tag is here, police. Can add them in. Then we also have the fire brigades, body cams, all these keywords, very important. Add tags. All right, okay, here we go. Now we have different kind of topics for our keywords. They call it tags, really great. Fire brigades, healthcare, and police, different kind of keywords inside of it. The visibility. This way we can really push on, hey, this year I want to focus to get all the healthcare professionals in the United Kingdom. They want to use our body cams. And this way we can use these reports to manage the numbers. Because again, numbers don't lie. And if we scroll down, we can add in our competitors. Add them in. Here we go. This is all from the UK. Now this time we also see suggested competitors coming through AdWords. That's really nice. Let's also add them in over there. So we're going to press on Save Changes. And we can see on the left side a beautiful graph, and we can see where our competitors are, especially to us. So we can see, hey, this is we have the visibility of 40%, and our competitor is over here, which has also a good visibility, but their average position is way higher than us, and they have 25 keywords in the top 100, and we all only have 24. If we then scroll down, we can see different kind of SERP features, and we don't come up in the knowledge panel, we don't come up in related searches, we come up in the site links, but as you can see that there are actually domains inside of that on our keywords. So we really need to improve our pages for that one. If we then scroll down, we can see the best pages that are performing the best of our website. We can see all landing pages in just a second. Then we can see the visibility by locations, but we have to upgrade our plan for that. Now, this is also a very interesting topic. I'll be talking to it in just a second because it is just over here. However, we need to upgrade our plan again to see that. But before we go any further, make sure that your language and the search engine is the right one. Let's go to overview. In this overview, we can see the last 7 days, but it might be more interesting to just use the last 2 months. We can see our visibility, our estimated traffic, and the average position of our website. It would be nice though if we can compare it to our last year's ranking. Maybe it's because I don't have this plan for over a year, and you can see decline or grow, or even last year, and you can see, hey, we are doing a great job. Let's get on it even further. Just a suggestion. Then we scroll down and we can see the rankings overview. The fonting over here is, for example, the position on July of the 10th and the position in October 7th. And we can see a change over here, the difference. So let's put it on difference. And we can see, hey, whoa, we have grew over 15 positions from July to October 7th. And that's really good to see, as you know that, hey, maybe what we are adding to this website is actually pushing up different kind of pages up. So we're doing a great job. However, growing with 15 positions only gives us 0.063% more visibility. So remember all about the top 3 and the top 10 positions within the search engine. So yeah, we have to do a lot of work. So this is a great overview to see if what you're doing on SEO is actually working in the Google search engine. You can track it and see how that goes. Excellent tool. If we scroll up, we can go to ranking distribution. In here we can see the ranking overview and the changes, traffic, difficulty, visibility, how many keywords you have in the top 3, top 10, all these things of you and your competitors. Because keep in mind, ranking in Google has everything to do with your competitors because they make up the field. If we scroll down, we can see all the rankings in the top 3. Then we can see the rankings top 10, top 20, top 100. This all looks great, but how do you use it? Well, if you see one of your competitors having a big difference suddenly out of nowhere, you can investigate it, look at their website, what's going on, are they putting up SEO campaigns, and why is that all important? Because they can actually change the field of SEO while you are working on your website. Keep that in mind, always keep your competitors close. Then we go over here to tags. If we upgrade to the next plan, we can use grouping and analyzing tags. Really nice. Let's go to pages in there. Here we can see all the URLs of your own website and how they are changing through the time of July the 10th and October the 7th right now. We can see the estimated traffic, the average position. You can sort it on the differences. For example, this one is really doing way better than before. So we can track your positions of your different kind of pages inside of Semrush. Really nice. Cannibalization is a very powerful tool, only available if you have a guru plan. Why is this one important? If you have different kind of pages with the exact same topic, you are competing your own pages with your own pages. That's not very useful, and you gotta make sure that this is not happening on your website. So this report might be very interesting and important for your website if you have a lot of content. Let's go to the competitors discovery. Again, on this page, we can see all about our competitors and how they are doing in the past 90 days. We can see their visibility changes, their winners and losers in the period. And if we scroll down, and if you sort it, for example, by a difference, we can see that, hey, the MetPolice.uk is really gaining a lot of traffic. Let's see who's growing the hardest. Motorola Solutions. That's not a real competitor, so we're going to click on Hide Domain. Hyteria Europe. What is this? Well, yes, this company does have body cams over here, and they're growing pretty hard by these statistics. Look at this. Estimated traffic is a lot more than ours, and they're growing with 10 points. That's very interesting to keep in mind. And their average position is not very high on our track keywords, but if they know the game, they can grow harder than us. So we have to keep that in mind. Wikipedia is not a competitor for our niche. Could be in your niche. We can see this table and see the difference, how they've been growing, how their traffic is going, and what the difference is in the last couple of days. Now, if you want to rank international, like my client is, we have to go to devices and location. If you then upgrade to a guru and a business plan, we can track domain rankings in multiple locations and multiple languages on multiple devices. Because you might know, it really makes a difference if you're searching in the UK, the Netherlands or the USA on a mobile desktop. It all makes a big difference in the rankings. This way we can really track our international domain positions. And then we go to the last one over here, the featured snippets. If we have featured snippets, we can see them in here, but unfortunately we don't have those one. What are the featured snippets? Well, people also asked, or maybe images, or maybe recipes, or maybe just the rich snippets in Google. We don't have that, so there's definitely some work to be done for my client. Then we go over here to organic traffic insights. Let's first select our project. This page is nothing more than a combination of Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and the Semrush data combined in one beautiful table. So in here we can see what's going on with our different kind of landing pages, how the average engagement time is, the engagement rate. Could all be very interesting to keep track of your SEO strategies. All right, let's talk about link building, one of the most important things in SEO. For this, we have a bunch of tools. Let's go to the Backlink Analytics first to see how we are doing. We are going to use the main domain. Press Analyze. Now, I really love this tool. Why? Semrush has their own bots crawling the internet, adding in links within 40 minutes. A new link will be added to this report, and every 15 minutes this report has been updated. it's really amazing. This tool can really help you by checking your own domain with your competitors, of course, to get more backlinks to your own website. Because if a competitor has a link on a certain website, you might be able to also get a link from that same domain. Now, let me walk you through all these things and first scroll down to see how we are doing. The first thing we see over here is the amount of referring domains that have at least one link to your website. In our case, 286 domains, which is not bad at all. And then we have a slight change within the current and previous month. Interesting to keep that in mind. Then all these domains have more than 5,000 backlinks to our website. Individual links can reoccur on certain websites multiple times, like this. Then we can see over here the monthly visits of our website, the organic traffic coming through our website, and then we can see the outbound domains, which are links from our own website to other domains also. Google doesn't like a dead end, so this is pretty good. Then we come to the overall toxicity score. It should be low, but it is high in our case, which can be a problem. If we then scroll down, we can see the authority score, which is a metric created by Semrush itself, and it's 27, which is average. And I don't want to be average, I want to be excellent. If you hover over here, we can see different kind of things. How natural is your profile? Is your backlink profile created for search engines or for people? And this is the way Semrush sees our website, and it says, well, it's pretty natural, it's unique, diverse pool of referring IP addresses and subnets. So it looks pretty legit. Then we can see the organic traffic is average and the link power is also average because the quality and the amount of backlinks is just average. Then we can see the authority score trend of the last 12 months. You can see that we are growing, but we're growing really slow and not pretty hard. And in here, if you click on it, you can see it has been increased, it has been decreased, it has been increased. This is the way you can keep track of your link building strategy. And on the right side, we can see the network graph. We're going to show the full report in just a second because they're all up there in the different kind of tabs. Here we can see referring domains. In 1 year time, it's actually declining really hard. So that's a problem, or not, because they used to be in a lot of news websites. All right, then we can see the amount of backlinks, which is actually growing. So we can see more backlinks, but less referring domains. This means we have more links from the same domains. Could be good, could not be good. Here we can see new and lost referring domains. We have lost 2, but we gained 4. Now, if we see this graph, something is really wrong. How can we gain 32 new referring domains in just 1 week? I'm going to show you that in just a second with view full report. We go to the next step and I'm going to show you. New and lost backlinks. Also, we have lost 809 backlinks in just 1 week. Very suspicious. Then we have the categories of referring domains, which looks all pretty good. And over here, we can see the top anchors to our website. I'm going to show that in just a second. Then we have the referring domains by authority score. What you want to do is go into the top 3 over there to get really high authority ranking domains, like government websites or university websites. That would be really great, but it's not so easy to do. Then we have backlink types. Most of them are text, 2% are images, and no forms or frames. Then we have 97% is do follow and 3% is no follow. All right. Here we see the referring domains TLDs. So .com, .nl, .de. Where are my links coming from? 55% is coming from .com domains. That might explain why I'm having 22% of all domains coming from the USA. If we scroll down, we can see the link profile distribution, referring domains, referring IPs, referring subnets. Now this is a very healthy graph. If the referring domains is 286 and the referring IPs is only 2 or 3, and that means because we have used link farms, just simple websites controlled by 1 or 2 persons, and they are creating new blocks every time they can, and that's not good. So if it looks something like this, it's great. What's also pretty interesting is that these domains have a similar backlink profile as my own website that I put in over there. The difference is they have absolutely nothing to do with body cams. or security or whatever. Very interesting. We're going to talk about this one later on in the full report. Then we have the top referring pages over there, and we can see it later on. And then we can have, hey, we have a backlink management course with Greg Grifford. That's really nice. We can enroll for free, and then we can follow all these videos of this guy, and they're pretty short, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Awesome. And last but not least, we can suggest a widget for this dashboard. Let's scroll up and then we go through all these things. Let's go to network graph. Normally you will see green dots in here and some red dots. I hope not too much. And you can click on it and really explore how this works. In our case, I only see really big websites here, which like apple.com, those are not going to link to my website. So I'm not entirely sure how to link this, or the website sepcam.com is just a really bad example to show on the network graph. But we do see one of them over here in red, which says installatieservice amsterdam.nl. I have seen this website and it is heavily optimized, way too much. So if we have a link from those guys, I would suggest we should remove it, because this website is way too over optimized to get any word from it. All right, let's go to the next one, backlinks. In backlinks, we can see a lot of things. For example, what type do we have? How many do we have? How many IPs? What attributes? We already talked about those one. But let's go to the backlink audit data. Then we can see the overall toxicity score is very high. Why is that? Well, it can be because of the backlinks coming from different kind of websites are pointing to our website is also giving a 404. Also, there can be domains that are tagged as toxic, 15 domains, but potentially toxic 49. So what do we want to do in this tool is to get this one really low, because we don't want that. If we do want to see those toxic domains and potentially toxic, you can click on it, but then we go to the Linkbuilding Backlink Audit, and we'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. Let's take a look at this. If we scroll down, we can see a big table. This table has been sorted by the page authority score. Of course, it's an SEO score created by Semrush itself. The authority score of this page is very high, but when you investigate this page, it's just an automatic page which will post publicly available news and press releases. It looks good, but then we can see that bots are being blocked to go to this website, europawire.eu. I don't know why this is. We can contact them and say, hey, can you whitelist our page, for example? I don't know, they must have done it for a reason. Then we can see some kinds that has been lost because there was a time that they created a shop, an e-commerce solution, didn't work out, so that's why they removed it, and of course they lost all these links because it was already indexed. And you can see over here a lot of no-follow links. That means that the no-follow tag has been added to these links, so search engines will not put down any value from these links to this link. In this case, you might be able to send them an email, like this is a very big website in the Netherlands. Send them an email and try to get that link from no-follow to follow, but you never know if they want to do that. And then we can see an interesting link which is lost, and you can see why. It's going to a subdomain which doesn't exist anymore. What I would do is create an exact redirection from this domain to the page I want to make this link go to. Sometimes you will see this icon new. It means that this link has been relatively new, been added, and in the last a month or so. If we go to anchors over here, in the anchors you can see how many backlinks you have with the exact text. More than 4,400 links from one domain? This is not good. All these things look very nice. This is also not a good one. Links for subcam.com, Telegram at Happy Granny Pies. What? Effortless content creation solutions and uplink.com. Achieve efficiency with IA automation for Sepcam on uplankai.com. The thing what they want to do is that you look in your Google Analytics or Search Console and you see these things and you think, oh wow, they really can help me because they're already adding links. Wow, this is great. Boost SEO with guest posts for Sepcam.com. They're just polluting my backlinks profile. Get out of here. If you want to see one of these anchor tags, for example, the cloud application, we go to backlinks over here, we click on it, and then we go back to the Backlink Analytics, but this time it has been filtered by only this Anchor cloud application.sepcam. Now let me show you what this website is that is linking 4,000 times to our website. This is an official website of the Dutch government, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Kingdom Relations. Yes, and this changes of course every single day, so that's why all these links are being put into Semrush. Ooh, we should really hide this entire domain from Semrush because really not helping in our backlink profile. Let's go to referring domains. Again, in here we can see all the different kind of domains that are referring to our website. We can filter them by all, active, new, lost, by domain, or we can change the authority score. This might be interesting for your domain just a bit so you know what's going on, but it's even more interesting if you're analyzing not your own website but the ones of your competitors, and then you can make a list which people you also want to connect to and send those other website emails, or maybe give them free products so they can put out a link on their website also to grow your backlink profile, and this way you can rank higher than your competitors. Haha, that is what we want. Now let's go to another useful tool, the index pages. Now I completely understand all these pages, which are pretty nice, but what's very interesting is go to broken pages. We have 6 domains with 6 backlinks going to a page that is not there anymore. If we go look at it, that's not the page you're looking for, and these guys are really looking at you. What you doing here, buddy? So what I would do with all this information, I would go into my website and create redirections with this exact URL to some URL that might be interesting for the same backlink. It's just a real shame that all these pages are just broken and they are just losing all that value that's being pushed to them via other websites. So make sure if you get here to fix those links and make redirections to another pages so that this value can just go into your website. Let's go to outbound domains. In here we can see all the domains that we are linking to from our own website. For example, cookieyes.com, it's been integrated on every page multiple times, I see. LinkedIn also, Facebook, this is a chat widget. All these things are on this website and are just linking to that one. Most of them is fine. If you see strange ones, then you have to investigate and change that page. Let's go to the last one, the competitors. Here we can see all the domains that has a similar backlink profile like our website. And it's pretty interesting to see if they are direct competitors or maybe completely not, like this website, like I've shown you before, has nothing to do with body cams at all, but there are some more websites that do, and you can investigate them, see them, where are their links coming from, maybe you can get the same links, could be very interesting. Then last but not least, we have referring IP addresses. Why would you want to have this list inside of Semrush? Just because they can. I actually don't know why you want to compare IP addresses to backlinks, or I don't know. Alright, let's go to the next one, which is the Backlink Audit over there. We are still in Linkbuilding, and this is the Backlink Audit of sepcam.com. In the overview, again, we have a beautiful dashboard with all information of the Backlink Audit. Let me start with the insights. Over here we have toxic domains, error pages. We can connect it to Google Search Console. We have potential link networks that we can review. We have backlinks with dangerous markers. These are really great things to look at it and to keep your backlink profile healthy. And by the looks of it, my client has never done this before because it looks like a mess. Let's scroll down. We can see the overall toxicity score again is high. 7.9% is toxic. 94 links are potentially toxic. This is not good. If you want to fix this is the place where we can do that. Again, those are the statistics that we've already seen. Let's scroll down. We can go over here by domains by toxicity score. Now, this will show your backlink profile health in the course of months. I didn't install Semrush until now. After a couple of months, you will see over here a beautiful graphical overview of the health of all your backlinks. The toxic links should decrease, potential toxic also, and non-toxic should grow. So we can see, hey, we're on the right track. Then we have 3 awesome tools over there. We can review our backlinks, then we can make a list, and then we can send them to Google to disavow them. So this means we can create a really healthy backlink profile, especially if you have a couple of links like this website that are just a little bit, I'm not sure about that. We're gonna do that in just a second. Let's scroll down for now. Over here we have the top 100 referring domains. Very interesting, but if you hit this box, toxic domains, it really starts to get really interesting. We have backlinks from different kind of things. Well, I'm going to show you that in just a second on a different tab, and then we're going to send it to Google to disavow them so that they're not counted for within our backlink profile. Then we go down, we have the top referring domain categories, domains by authority score, backlink by anchor type. Over here we have the top 100 anchors, which is pretty interesting. You can see the top 100 links linking to your website. You can also change it to the money anchors, compound anchors, or maybe the naked anchors, so you can see where all these backlinks are coming from and going to. Now, this all is very interesting, but of course you can also just examine a competitor. Just keep that in mind. Then we scroll down and we have the top 5 target pages. They're by default target URLs with error, so you can redirect them to your right page so you won't lose all those link juice. And last but not least, we have over here the backlinks by link attributes, like follow, no follow, sponsored, or UGC. Now, if you have a lot of follow links, that's good. No follow links, of course, you have a couple of them, but you don't want to have a lot of them. Sponsored links and UGC, you definitely don't want to have a lot of links of them, because that implies that you have been paying people or let people generate content like comment spam for your website. So if these are your stats, looks a little bit like this, 90%, 10%, all is good. Then over here we have backlinks by link type. If you have an informational website like zepcam.com, then your text links should be a little bit higher than your image links. But if you have an e-commerce website, then high quality images that are being linked to your website could be a very good strategy to get some more customers. So then this could be higher. All right, let's scroll all the way up and then we go to the audit over there. What's very interesting is the audit from Semrush itself. This is this thing over here. We have different kind of audits. Then we have potential link network. This is bad because if you have a lot of link network, it might be that you have been buying links that are not real for visitors, but just to influence the search engines, and Google doesn't like that. If you click on this about page, you can see why this is a potential link network. All these things can signal link networks. So if you have this, we're going to click later on review, and we're going to see how we can clean this. And then we have here in the audit backlinks with dangerous markers. We have one empty anchor from a de-indexed domain. This means that this domain has been removed from Google altogether from their index. If that happens, that's not a good thing. So we sure have to investigate these ones. Then over here we can see how to manage toxic backlinks. If we scroll down, we can see for review 857 links we need to review. Now this table has been sorted by the toxicity score of each domain. The first one, for example, is the worst because it has been a penalized domain. Non-indexed domain could be penalized, very bad. Make sure to remove this one. How are we going to use this tool? It's very easy. If you select them, you can over here, you can put them on the whitelist. You only do this if you have checked the domain manually and you are absolutely sure this is an okay website. Then put them on the whitelist. If you want to remove them, then click over there and then we're going to put it on the remove list. It doesn't mean it will be disavowed by Google. No, you will contact the owner personally, send them an email and ask, hey, could you remove my link from your website? The last thing you can do is disavow this link entirely. Just put them on the disavow list. It will create a TXT file for you, and in just a second we're going to upload it to the Google Console disavow tool. In this case, I definitely want to disavow these 3 links because they are just from some spammy website list. I'm not going to send them an email and ask for it. I'm just going to put them on the disavow list. Then click on disavow. Then you can select, do you want to disavow the entire domain, everything from buyinspect.com, for example, or just the exact URL. In our case, I want to remove the entire domain because this website has nothing to do with my client site and it's just spammy. So I'm going to press move to disavow list. There we go. domains move to your disavow list. All right. This way we're going to check every single domain of them. Yes, it's going to take a lot of time, but it's in the end worth it to get a real healthy backlink profile. It will help your SEO big time. Now, I'm also going to put these ones on the remove list, so you'll see how it works. Then over here, I got another toxic link. We're just going to select it and press on disavow. Here we go. All right, scroll up and then we go to the remove list. Now, Semrush did a great job at making this process as easy as possible. You can just go over here. There's a contact page, but you can also just send an email. Just press on send. If you scroll down, you can see that we have a complete email. It's all done. You only have to put in the domain's owner's email address. And then this template works really great. Also, if you send it and you proceed to the next one, then you can send it also. And then we also have a follow-up email, which is really great. You can also send it if the link has not been removed. If you don't want to do this, you can also just disavow them. Go to your disavow. We have a list over here with different domains that are really spammy, and I don't want Google to use these backlinks for my backlink profile and my SEO score. So what are we going to do? We're just going to press on this one, export to TXT. There we go. Now it has been exported. If you click on it, this is then the file. Export from backlink tool, domains, URLs, no URLs, only domains. Looks great. Now the only thing we need to do right now is open up the Google Disavow tool, open link in new tab, then select your own website. Then we press upload disavow list. Then select the disavow TXT file from Semrush we've just downloaded. And that's it. You don't have to push a button, fix it or do it, or this is it. If you have a new list or a bigger list, or then you can press replace, but it will replace this list. In time, it will show in here what links has been disavowed. Then you need to press on this button. Yes, I've uploaded the file. Here we go. Toxicity score is recalculated based on rejected backlinks. Got it. All right, really great. Then we go to lost and found. With this tool, we can keep track of the newest changes in our backlink profile. In the overview, we can see all links. In here, we can only see the last 3 months. And if you scroll down, you can filter on new links, broken links, or lost links, and we can whitelist them, easily remove them or disavow them. When can you use this? Well, this graph, for example, is very important if you're running a PR campaign and you want to see, hey, is this something doing with my backlink profile? Are we being successful in marketing or creating new links? Because we can export this entire report to PDF, or we can email it straight away, or we can schedule it. We get this report every single week, and we can also white label this entire report to change it. And if we then press export to PDF, and we get this beautiful report that we can share with our colleagues, talk about it, tell them, or maybe our superiors. If you want to white label it, upload your own logo and use design teams, then we have to customize our report. And then we can customize the entire report. Over here, we can change the logos, for example, and we can change the names, everything inside our reports. That's pretty nice. And you can find that tool over here, Agency Solutions, My Reports. Let's get back to the backlink audit. Let's go to target pages. With this tool, you can easily find out which pages receive the most referral domains or the most backlinks. And you can, of course, sort this information over here with different kind of metrics. Very nice and easy to use to quickly see what pages get the highest backlinks. Then we go over About. Then on the About page, we have to connect Google Search Console to give us even more information about every single backlink we have. And that's all about the traffic it comes from and what the score is, and all these things can be useful. If you press on this button, and we can add this URL to our Google Search Console. I'm not going to do this right now because I have to ask my client if that is okay. Then we've talked about the Backlink Audit tool. Let's go with the Linkbuilding tool, which is also a very important part of your SEO strategy. Get more links. First, you select your project. And then we can see that we have 3 domains have been added to our prospect list. Nice. Close this one. Now this link building tool from Semrush is one of the best in the market. It just is. In the overview we can see domain prospects. These are all empty right now because we need to go to prospects first. Go there. Now we can see that Semrush has defined an entire list of URLs, 476, that might be interesting for our company to get links from. Now that's actually a lot. So you get a bunch of prospects which you can use. How to use this list? First we scroll down. They are automatically sorted by the rating, a list of 50 plus metrics that will calculate, hey, is this a good thing for your backlink profile, yes or no? When we've opened up this one, we can see, hey, this already has Zapcam in it and there's actually a link in here. If you inspect this link, we can see over here that it is actually a no follow link, while Semrush says this is a good potential link for your website. So I want to reach out to this company and ask, hey, can you change our link to do follow? Now, how do we do that? We go over here and we press on this button. We can select an outreach strategy. Yes, we can do a manual link, directory, catalog, add link to article, product review, link from mentioned, guest post, recover lost backlinks, or you can even customize your own outreach strategies. In our case, I want this it's a directory catalog. And now it has been moved to in progress. But another example is this news website. And we can see over here that this is a news website and it's been launched in 15 August in 2024. That's almost 2 months ago, so I doubt it, but we can still try to get a link from within this news article. We go to in progress and we go to add link to article over there. Then we have another one, which is a blog. And what do I do when I read this post? I see, hey, this is a very interesting article. Maybe I can contact them and ask them if they want a quote from a bodycam company itself to shine their light on it, in turn from a link to our website. Maybe they want it, maybe they don't. If you don't try, you will never know. So I'm going to add this one to add link to article over there. Here we go. Now you know you can do all these links. There are a bunch of them and you can also sort them on the keywords. So it's been sorted on the best keywords, on your competitors. So your competitors are in there and not you. After you put in your prospects in a list, we go to in progress. Here we can see 3 domains in progress. Again, this tool is completely created to get the best workflow possible. So we scroll down and we press on contacts. We can add in an email address, but this time we don't have a template yet. You have to write it yourself, but of course you can do that. And then you have also follow-up mails. You can also write them yourself, send them mails. And then if you've sent those emails, you can move it automatically to the monitor list, or you can do it manually by just clicking this box. Or if they don't want to place the link on their website, you can place this domain to the rejected list. And you can visit it once in a while, or you can bribe them. No, that's illegal. That's against the guidelines of Google. So let's go to monitor. In here, I have put 1 domain prospect in my monitor list. It will automatically check if our link has been added to this website. And then we can go to about, and here we can see, well, some information that's also in the user manual. So I don't know why this tab is actually here and none of the other tools we've used had the about tab. All right, let's go to bulk analysis. Here we can bulk a backlink analysis to analyze our competitors to really find link building opportunities. If you don't have enough, this tool looks a little bit like the Backlink Gap tool. Although the Backlink Gap tool is only for 5 websites, and this tool you can put into 200 domains, so you can really see how you're doing compared to your direct competitors. I don't know if you want to put in 200 competitors, but it's possible with this bulk backlink analysis tool, and it gives you a quick overview of how you do in the market. All right, then the last things we're going to talk about, the On Page Tech SEO. Let's start with the site audit. All right, first we're going to select our project over there. Now this powerful tool from Semrush provides us with technical information about how we can improve our website. And why is that important? Well, Google wants to show visitors good working websites. If your website is full of errors, it's not going to work for your visitors. They have a bad experience with the search results. So that's why they rank you lower if your website is technically a mess. And this tool will help you overcome that. We have 722 errors on our website, 635 warnings, 2,500 notices. That's not pretty good. Our overall site health is 82%, while the top 10% of websites is 92%. So we definitely have to improve that one. Alright, this report is based on 500 crawled pages. Only 6 of them are healthy. Oh, this doesn't look very good. 465 pages have issues. I'm starting to worry a bit about this. On the thematic reports, you can click on view details, and unlike the other tools, you don't go to a different tab. If you click on this one, you go into a detailed report about the crawlability. If we go back to overview, we have a couple of more things that are interesting. Now, let's go first with site performance. Over here we can see the performance issues, which are the biggest thing that you definitely want to check. Now, the page load speed of 482 pages are too low. 1 to 3 seconds to load, and you want to be in the 0.5 second range. That's the best one. The average load speed is 1.57. I don't think that's very fast. You want to be in this half a second range. That's the best, although it's not always possible. And then we can see on the right side why this problem has been caused. Not by large HTML, not by redirect change and loops. We also have no uncompressed pages, no issue. And then we have 119 issues with the unminified JavaScript and CSS files. And that's true because we had to turn this off in WP Rocket, as we encountered a lot of problems with it because of some plugins they loaded in on their website. Now with this report, I can show it to my client and say we have to fix this. So give me a couple of hours and I will whitelist certain JavaScript files, but not all of them. So we can minify everything except those 3 things that are causing the issues. So this is a very useful overview. Now, the last thing I want to show you is International SEO and Core Web Vitals, who are very low. Let's see the International SEO. If you have multiple languages on your website, the hreflang is very important because it tells Google the same content is also on this page in a different language and also on that page with another language. Very important, but we can see conflicts within page source, 56 issues. If you click on this one, we can see what's going on over here. And then we can see that the only problem Semrush is having with our website is always the same. No self-referencing hreflang. And that's something we can easily fix within WordPress and within the tool we're using to translate. So I'm just going to tell my client, hey, this is a problem. We need to fix this. Then the last one I want to show you is the Core Web Vitals. Out of the 10 pages, we can see that 7 of them have to be improved and 1 of them is really poor. And again, it's not the largest contentful page, not the blocking time, it's the cumulative layout shift. And what can we do about this? Well, the top improvements are here. Avoid non-composite animations and image elements that not have explicit width and height. Easy things we can fix using this report. Go over there, we can see the analyzed pages. I can easily improve this by tuning my WP Rocket settings on my website. Let's go back to our overview. Then last but not least, Robust TSD update is available. That's all there is to say about it. And then we have the top issues. If you see all these issues and you click on view details, you go automatically to here, issues. Let's go there. Now this list is a very important one and we can easily fix this. For example, 633 internal links are broken. That's insane how much this is. Let's click on it. Now this is quite easy to fix because as you can see, a lot of pages are going to about-Zepcam. And if we go to this website, we can see that About Zepcam has been changed to About Us. And I think what they forgot to change was over here in the footer, a link. Rookie mistake. If you have this entire list, we can send it to the Semrush CRM. If your technical guy is also on Semrush, you can send it to Trello or Zapier, but you can also just export it to the broken internal links and send it to Excel sheet. Then we get over here a beautiful Excel sheet which has the page URL and the broken link URL, so they can just walk through it and fix it all. Just email it and say, hey guys, I got something nice for you. If they all fixed it, just rerun this campaign. Semrush will crawl it and see if those errors has been fixed. Let's go to the crawled pages. With this tool, we can see all the 500 pages Semrush crawled on our website, and we can also see all the issues with every single page. You can also see this in the site structure, like this, and then you can show 50 more folders, all the different kind of languages, and then you can see per language, hey, what is going on, how many URLs are in here, and how many issues do we have per language. But you can also change all these columns. For example, the title is not that interesting, but what I want to see is, for example, the load time. There we go. Now we can see the load time per page and the issues also per page. Very useful. You can also go to site structure, and we can see per directory how many issues we have. And then we can see that, hey, this language and Spain and Italy have the most issues with all links and all these kind of things. So that's pretty important, so we can call in our Italian team and say, hey, we have a couple of issues, can you fix those? And of course, you can also search for a specific page using this search box. Let's go to statistics. Here we can see all statistics for our specific website. That's exactly what it is, statistics. Then we go to compare crawls. If Semrush have crawled your website multiple times, like every week, 1 October, 6 October, we can see if our site health has been improved. Are the issues resolved? Did my team do a good job, or did I fix them myself? Are the errors gone? All these things are very nice, so we can show progress to our colleagues or our superiors. Another way to do this is by going to the Progress tab. You can see the historical chart for audits, just change your date, and then we can see this graph moving around, and we can see a beautiful graph representation of our efforts fixing these errors. And last but not least, we have the JavaScript impact. This is a very interesting report, but we have to upgrade to Guru. If you want me to do that, put it down in the comments and I'll be glad to make new videos about the Guru plan and how this all works. Alright, let's go to the next one, listing management. The strange thing is when you click on it, then we are being redirected to the local SEO listing management. Let's go to the SEO Content Template. This is another great tool from Semrush which will help you create content for your SEO strategy with your keywords, with your backlinks in mind, with everything in mind that we put into this system. It's excellent. Are you still using ChatGPT? We have a better alternative. All right, let's start out with a content keyword called body cams. And we're going to do this for the UK, United Kingdom. The region is entire England. And let's use all the cities on desktop. Create a content template. Then it's going to analyze our top 10 ranking rivals for each of your targeted keywords. Hang on, this can take a couple of minutes. Oh, that was pretty fast. Let's close this for now. Then Semrush find our Google top 10 rivals, and then it's going to give us key recommendations. Related words like battery life, law enforcement, body-worn camera, security personnel, wide range. This is great. Then we have backlinks. Try to acquire backlinks. Readability of 10 URLs is 53. We can definitely improve that one. And then if you start writing content, make sure it is at least 1863 words. Pretty good information. Then we can see how our competitors are using the target keywords. Some of them are not available, so you have to read it for yourself and see, hey, this is just a shop. And then we have basic recommendations, which is standard SEO practices 101. Then we scroll up and we see the real-time content check. Then the question is, do you want to create it yourself? Or, that is this one, writing assistant. Or do we want to generate a ready-to-publish SEO-rich article generated by AI? Of course. Let's click on this one. If you're going to generate a lot of content and you want to start out with AI, you can start this free trial and see how this tool actually works. If you want me to make an extensive tutorial about specifically this tool, drop it down in the comments and I will check it out for you. If you want to do it right now, be my guest. You get instant access. You can enjoy all features. And in the subscription plan, you can generate unlimited SEO-rich articles. Sounds really great. Alright, now you know how this part works. Let's go to the On Page SEO Checker. This is another awesome tool from Semrush. You can tell I'm a little bit enthusiastic about this because it gives you 281 total ideas for 41 of our pages to improve them. We have different kind of ideas like strategy, backlinks, user experience, technical SEO, SERP, semantic and content ideas. This is hands-on ideas that we can actually use. If we go to top pages to optimize, we can see 11 ideas for our homepage. I love it and it has the highest priority. View all pages and ideas. If you click this one, you go over here to optimization ideas. How can we use this tool? If we go to our front page, for example, we have 11 ideas. If you click on this, you will go into this specific landing page and we can see different kind of ideas sorted by their topic. For example, strategy. Improve your SEO strategy. One keyword assigned to the current page. Then what Semrush actually is saying is, hey, you might be considering to change the keyword Zepcam to this page instead of zepcam.com. Of course, that's possible, but this only means that there are more backlinks going to zepcam.com/nl because there's a Dutch business. So I would reverse it and say we have to get more links on zepcam.com. For example, the UK market or the United States. Then we have more ideas for the SERP features. If you want to have a rich snippet, then make sure to add a product markup code. That's what Semrush advises us. Then we go to a very interesting one, which is content based on your top 10 ranking rivals data. Avoid keyword stuffing in your body tag. So it might be possible that these words are just putting way too much inside of the body. Yes. Bodycam is way too much instead of our rivals, which is putting it less in there. So someone has over-optimized this page, or we just need more content because it's a percentage of the entire content. Now there are way more ideas just like this. Click on the detailed analysis, read what that's all about, send it to your colleague or fix it yourself. And yes, it can actually help you very much with your on-page SEO. Now this information is worth a lot of money. Normally you would hire a company to tell you all these things, but Semrush is just telling it you from the start using their algorithms and crawling systems. Excellent. Let's go to the top 10 benchmarking. Now this tool is a very nice tool to check how you are doing compared to the top 10 in Google. So if you want to filter by keyword, let's use a bodycam again. Then we can see all these different elements that Semrush is checking your website against your rivals. The average of our top 10 competitors are 1437 and we are way lower. We don't even have half of it. So here we can quickly check our top keywords and how we can improve our own content to be better than our top 10 competitors. If you click on View Full Analysis, we can also see the entire report of our 10 competitors, so you can really dive into it. Let's go back to the idea tasks. The first thing we need to do is check for new ideas. Click on it, and then it's going to analyzing our pages. In here we can see all the tasks that we can do to improve our technical on-page SEO. Over here we can see a beautiful graph, so you can show interesting charts if you're improving things. You can of course change them to, for example, technical issues. Then we scroll down and I can see all these issues and I can fix them one by one. The funny thing is you cannot select this one to mark it as done. It's only been changed if you've actually fixed it. Here we go. Now we can see that this is discovered on the 1st of October. And now on the 9th of October, it has been fixed. That's the only way you can improve and empty this entire list. Really great hands-on list to help you fix all your on-page SEO problems. Then we go to the last one, the log file analyzer. This is a very unique tool. What do? You download the log files from your website hosting company. This means every single time someone opens up your website, rules are being written to this log file, but also when the Google bot is visiting your website, it will be written inside of your log file. So Semrush will be able to determine with your log file the exact path that the Google bot is running. Let's see if we can fix this for our website. You first have to get your access logs from your web hosting server. If you don't know how to do that, you can click over here and you can see where can you find the access logs. Then you can go with an FTP client. Then you can go through this place or this, depending on the type of server that you have. Then you can upload your access logs to this website. After downloading, you press on Browse for log files. And then you just upload all the log files that you want to be analyzed by the Semrush tool. And then we press Start Log File Analyzer and it's going to update our files. And then we can see something like this. The status code, the file type and the bots that has been crawling our website. Now we can see how the Google bot walks through our website on any given day. So this tool is pretty nice. But what I was expecting to see was a chart flow. That means the Google bot came into your website on this page and then it went to this page, this page, this page, and then it left, for example. Or the Google crawl bot just came into this page and then it left again. So we know exactly if it's following it, is it just updating different kind of pages. But then again, what would I do with that information? I'm not quite sure how we can use this tool just yet. So I might be doing it wrong, but again, it is a beta tool, so that might be the cause of this one. I hope you enjoyed this thorough, in-depth tutorial of all SEO things of Semrush. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll be glad to read them. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.